Welcome to New Independence Network. Let's talk about something right now that's people are missing in the big picture. Democrats are deflectors. What do you mean by deflectors? What Democrats do is they deflect. Democrats will never, especially Hillary Clinton, they never focus on the issue. Specifically, the Clintons. This has been their game plan from the beginning. If something happens, they have to deflect away from the topic. This is the game that's being played right now, and the Trump campaign needs to comprehend this. I hope somebody in the campaign does get this. If they don't, they need to. Every time you talk about something with the Clintons, something negative about the DNC, about Hillary Clinton, about the Democrats, they will change the subject. Case in point, the emails from the DNC hack. The emails were hacked. Terrible content. I mean, it's all out there in the open now. Now you know for a fact that the Politico's on the take. Politico is running stories past the DNC, and do you approve of this story? And they say, well, yes, we do, or no, we don't. And Politico decides whether or not they run the story based on what the DNC says. Do they do that with the RNC? No, but they do it to the DNC. Or Chuck Todd. Chuck Todd from NBC. He comes out and he takes marching orders from Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She said, this is what you're going to do. And he went, okay, whatever you say. He's a pawn. You see, in the past, it was assumed. We always kind of knew it. It's like, yeah, we know that. Like, we know, like wrestling. You know wrestling's fake all along when you're growing up. But then when you really find out, you're like, oh. Or like, you know, Santa Claus isn't real. You think he's real, but then you don't want to admit that he's not real. And then once you find out, you go, oh. Well, that changes the whole way you look at the world now, doesn't it? That's kind of what it's like with the media. We kind of knew they were on the take from the DNC. We kind of knew they were puppets. They were propagandists of the DNC. Now, we know it. Like, we kind of felt it. Now we know it. And now we're like, oh, God. No. That kind of makes... It's actually very sad when you think about it. But that was in the emails. Though it's right there in black and white. That's not being touched. You had Bernie Sanders being mocked for his religion. It was anti-Semitic tactics being used against Sanders. They were trying to spread lies as well to say he was an atheist. There was racial slurs being thrown about. They called a group of Latinos a taco bowl. I mean, seriously, this is what they did. And these emails, the content is damning. And we haven't even skimmed the surface on those emails. Well, what's interesting is that all of a sudden, the story is about Russia. All of a sudden, Russia hacked the emails. Well, it's deflection. They're using Russia, a concocted story, a false story about Russia, to divert attention away from their emails. The content of the emails, they don't like the fact that they were caught. That's their problem. So they ignore the content. They're trying to make it about something else. It doesn't bother them what they were saying internally because that's what they're made of. That's what Democrats are. They are racists. They accuse everyone of being racist. They are racist. They're misogynist. How can you say that? Very easily. Democrats use minorities for their games. They use them for politics. And when they're done using them and getting their votes, they throw them away. You tell me how well blacks are doing in the inner cities. How well black communities are doing. You tell me how well poor communities are doing. You tell me anything that's doing well, any cause that's doing well under Democrats. They're not. The minute they, especially black Americans, I mean, they're some of the most racist people on the face of the earth, the Democrats. They really are. But the minute they get what they want, the minute they scare you into voting for them, they abandon you. Just like they used Khazir Khan and Cindy Sheehan. Once they get what they want, they're going to abandon Khan. He's going to be left out flapping. And if something happens, they'll mock him. They'll do something in the future. If he turns tide and goes back after them, they will. They'll do whatever they can to degrade the guy. It's just the way they work. But they're trying to deflect everything that they do. So when you have the email hacking that happened, they say it's about Russia. I mean, it started, think about this. It started even with Benghazi. Benghazi, they tried to deflect what happened in Benghazi by saying it's about a YouTube video. So they tried to lie about that. It's not about Benghazi. It's not about terrorism. It's about a YouTube video. It was a riot over a video that got out of control. Out of control with mortars, indirect fire weapons. Yeah, that was a out of control riot. I don't know what rioters have mortars, because mortars have to put coordinates in. It takes a very long time to set up a mortar so it can fire on a target. Sorry, old military here talking, and I was field artillery. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about ballistics and indirect fire weapons. Anyway, that was not just an impromptu riot over a YouTube video. That was their deflection. So once it came out that that's what it was, the writing was on the wall. It was clear, cut and dry. It was, hey, this is about terrorism. We had foreign leaders that were confirming it was about terrorism. So what did they do? Well, there was no real way to deflect that. They tried just to ignore it. It's not about this. It's not Hillary Clinton's fault. They tried to do whatever they can to ignore it. Then they tried to deflect it and say it was the soldiers' faults. You've heard some of the media say that. The soldiers disobeyed orders and they shouldn't have gone in, but they did anyway. Well, that wasn't holding water either. So what was Hillary's big deflection attempt on Benghazi? Well, there have been numerous ones, but the biggest one, and it shows how knee-deep she was in it, was during the Benghazi hearing where she said, "What difference does it make? We have 4 dead Americans. What difference does it make?" That's her deflection. That was all she had. She knew her back was against the wall. The problem is the Republicans, they had these hearings, but they did not press. Romney had the opportunity to really wreck Obama during the second debate. It was days before the debate. Days before is when Benghazi happened. And Romney could have just laid hellfire on Obama during that debate, and he treated him with kid gloves. That's where he made his biggest mistake. He could have put Obama down for the count, but he didn't do it. So that's the problem we have. The Democrats deflect. Republicans don't understand that this is what you have to do to counteract the deflection. Khan is a deflection. Khazir Khan, the whole thing with him is a deflection. It's a deflection away from the record of Hillary Clinton. Everything you hear, the media is running with it. I mean, Chris Matthews just tweeted out earlier today. I'm doing this on Monday, August 1st. He tweeted out earlier today that Khazir Khan and his wife were going to be on Hardball with Chris Matthews. This is the same Chris Matthews who lambasted Pat Smith, the mother of the fallen soldier in Benghazi, for speaking at the Republican National Convention. He chastised her. What is she? She needs to keep her mouth shut. But he's having the same people on his show. He's having parents of a fallen soldier on his show. I thought they were supposed to keep your mouth shut, Chris. See, again, libocracy, liberal hypocrisy. You are not a liberal if you are not a hypocrite. It's very simple. You have to be a hypocrite to be a liberal. And that's what Chris Matthews is. And it's all part of the game. It's all deflection. It's all to get people ginned up and aggravated and off the main focus. And the main focus is Hillary Clinton is an absentee leader. She is incompetent. Her track record is terrible. She has accomplished nothing. She sponsored no major legislation in her years as a senator. Nothing. Some figurative little nothing bills, but nothing of substance. Hillary Clinton is an absolute joke and a disaster, and they know it. They know she's got nothing. We've already had this happen before. We've already had somebody who knows nothing get elected as president. And look what that's done for this country. This country is in turmoil. The racial divisions are bigger than ever. Our economy is still in the toilet. I don't care what they say about, the economy is showing improvement. They've been spitting that from the beginning of time. You cannot have 95 million people out of the workforce and only have a 5% unemployment rate. Let's do some basic math. There are roughly 330 million people in the United States of America. About 180 million of those people are taxpayers, so they basically can work or have jobs. Right? 180 million of them are taxpayers. If 95 million people, half of the 180 million, more than half, are out of work or not working or off the work rolls, shouldn't that tell you that the unemployment rate is a lot higher than 5%? How many people have dropped off? How many people are no longer looking for work? See, that's the whole thing. They don't count those in the number, and they've already admitted they fudge the numbers. The unemployment numbers are a fraud. Don't do the stock market. It's amazing. The Democrats left. There's another deflection. They like to say, "Oh, well, the stock market's doing really great under Obama." But wait a minute. Before Obama even said he doesn't care what the stock market does. The stock market doesn't matter. It's not important to him. I thought the stock market was a bad thing because those are billionaires making billions of dollars. So which way do you want to have it? Hypocrites. Which way do you want to have it? Hypocrites. Do you want the stock market to mean something or do you want it to mean nothing? This is what they do. They're trying to deflect from the real reason, the real story. The real story is the economy is terrible and the economy is bad. It is very, very bad. I mean, you talk to businesses, they're suffering out there. They're suffering every day. So there's no gray area about it. And the Democrats don't care. All they care about is getting power. Obama had absolutely no experience. Zero. He was totally unqualified. He was a community organizer, and that was the extent of his... Well, he was a state senator for like 2 seconds. And he was a United States senator for, less than 180 days? He couldn't accomplish anything in that time. He's a junior senator. He's a nobody. But they pushed him up the ladder because they needed to have the first black president up there. They had to get the black vote and use black Americans once again to vote Democrat, to promise them a future that they will never give them. That's what Democrats do. Hillary Clinton is the same way. Oh, she's got a lot of experience. She has no experience. Look at my earlier podcast about this. Earlier podcast was last week, 27th, I think it was. She rode the coattails of Bill Clinton all the way. She is totally incompetent. She doesn't know what she's doing. If it wasn't for Bill, she wouldn't have her career. It's very simple. And they know because her record is so bad, they're going to deflect. You're going to see this every single day in every single issue. If there's something that's important, they're not going to talk about it. Why else do you think they're scheduling the debates during football games? And Trump is right there. NFL, the market draw on NFL is huge. The market share, tremendous. Tremendous. People are going to watch some political debate during an NFL football game. You're just not going to. You're going to lose a lot of audience. And they know it. That's why they tucked Hillary Clinton's debates versus Bernie Sanders onto Saturday nights, because no one's going to watch a Saturday night debate. That's what this is all about. It's total deflection away from the ineptitude and incompetence of Hillary Rodham Clinton. She does not have a clue and is unable to lead this country. And if you're a Hillary supporter, then you're absolutely snowed, because she doesn't know what she's doing. She just doesn't. Go look at her record. Go find out what she's done. What does she accomplish of substance, positive substance, as Secretary of State, as a senator? What has she accomplished? Hell, she couldn't even get Hillary Care passed when she was a first lady. Shouldn't even have been within her purview. But Bill gave her that pony to run with. She couldn't even get that passed because it was a mess. And she ends up passing a child care protection chip or something like that, which was actually written by Bob Dole before. Bob Dole created it, proposed it, and she said, no, it's either all or nothing in terms of healthcare. She wanted everything, all or nothing. And then down the road, as time went on, she said, let's do the child care thing. Let's just pass that now. And she took it to be her own. She didn't even give Bob Dole credit, because that's what Hillary does. She's a snake. So, don't get distracted. Maintain your focus, maintain positivity, and hope the Trump campaign does the exact same thing. This is deflection. You have to stay on message. And the message is that Hillary Clinton is destructive. She's a third term of Obama who has done horrible things for this economy, horrible things to race relations in this country. If she is elected, she will put in liberal justices that will be on the Supreme Court for 30, 40 years, depending on how old they are, for several generations. She wants to get rid of the Second Amendment. And don't believe a word when they say, they're not going to take your guns. Yes, yes, she does. Okay, every time Hillary says, I don't want to take your guns, just remember these words. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Remember that. If you like your doctor, keep your doctor. If you like your health plan, you can keep your health plan. Remember that. Every time Hillary says, we don't want to get your guns, just remember Obama saying that. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. How'd that turn out, kids? How'd that turn out? How's your healthcare doing? How are your premiums? Doing well, huh? Yeah? Real cheap, right? Yeah, okay. They're not. Think about that. Every single time. Hillary is saying, I don't want your guns. Secretly, they want your guns. There's a YouTube video that James O'Keefe put out there. Fantastic. Fantastic YouTube video. It's an undercover video. It was a delegate who was talking to him, and she's all about that. Says, yeah, we're all about taking the guns. She says it. See if I can't link to it during this video. I'll put it at the end or something, or over this part in the video now. But that's what they want to do. So she wants to take your guns. She wants to affect the 10th Amendment and affect your religion, your religious freedoms. She wants to do that. She said it. And she wants to affect freedom of speech. The Fairness Doctrine is all about that. I've said it before. The Fairness Doctrine is conservative talk radio, or radio stations have to air, if they're playing conservative talk radio, they have to air an opposing viewpoint, which will then silence a lot of the content that they air on those radio stations, because there is no opposing viewpoint. Democrats don't have anything. They tried talk radio. They tried Air America. It doesn't work because they're incompetent and don't know what they're doing. No one wants to hear that message of doom and gloom all the time. And that's what the liberals live by. Lies, doom, gloom, and deflection. Okay, so stay focused. Stay positive with it. Do not cave to the media propaganda, the DNC propagandist media spin. They're going to keep pushing for the wrong narrative. The narrative that we have to focus on is Hillary Clinton is incapable of doing her job. Incapable of doing it. She's an absolute disaster. That's the little snippet for today, our little update. So enjoy you listening. Come on back, listen some more, and we'll be back again with more information to help us sort out the unsortable. This is New Independence Network. Have a good day.